Greetings everyone, I am Ayman Cherkaoui and I'm speaking to you from Rabat in Morocco. I am excited to be part of this conference and I am very much looking forward to the conversations, decisions and actions that will take place over these 2 weeks and going forward. I believe that the format of this conference is both a consequence and a reaction to this challenging year we've been having. 2020 was due to be the year of acceleration for the Sustainable Development Goals, a super year for nature with both the UNEP COP and the CBD COP and other important events taking place. We have had what has been pretty much a year of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have had to live with the dreadful impacts of this pandemic. We are still living through them, and we will have to live with that for quite some time yet. Does that mean that we need to give up on climate ambition and climate action and mobilizing for the Sustainable Development Goals? I believe you'll agree with me when I say absolutely not. That action has rarely been more needed than it is now. Science has been clear for quite some time, and the youth mobilization movement that has been one of the most transformational movement, enabling movement for more climate ambition and climate action has been very consistent about reminding us of that reality. Having this meeting now, keeping that momentum going, showcasing this type of youth leadership is, I believe, precisely what is needed as an important ingredient to strengthen our collective and individual capacity to act in an ambitious manner to meet the objectives of the Paris Agreement and the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. This Mock COP, this very name, elicits in me two reactions. The first of them is linked to the fact that several years ago I went through the Mock UN process. I very much enjoyed it. A few years after that, I had the tremendous privilege and honor of serving as special advisor to the Moroccan COP26 presidency. And looking back at both these times, I can't be but struck by how formative, how much I was prepared to the formal process by having gone through the Mock UN process. Putting yourself in someone else's shoes, understanding their context in a meaningful manner, understanding what they have as specifics, what they need to keep in mind when it comes to the kind of decisions that they are pushing for, where they come from, where they're headed, is, I believe, not just helpful to prepare you for the formal process, but it is also a truly life-changing experience. It is also very much dependent on how much of yourself you put in that. And my suggestion would be to just give it your all. Really build those bridges of understanding by putting yourself in the shoes of someone who is different from you. I have been privileged to have this opportunity, and I believe you yourselves, by your engagement to doing something similar with this Mock COP, are also showcasing a mindset of co-construction and collaboration. I've also had the tremendous privilege through the Obama Foundation of meeting with African leaders, youth leaders that are just as engaged for ambition and action. And I think this kind of opportunity to network and meet is very, very important. Unfortunately, given the circumstances, most of you will be meeting solely digitally in the context of this conference. It is both a challenge and an opportunity, of course. It is a challenge because we can't quite have the same kind of conversation that we would have if we were to meet physically. It is also an opportunity because it enables for more inclusion and to provide that opportunity to more than would have had if it was solely a physical event. But it is also a conditional opportunity because one must not lose sight of the reality of the digital divide, that it is not just because an event is taking place on the digital space that it is inclusive. There are issues of connection, there are issues of language that are also very important to keep in mind. The second point that is elicited from me by hearing it is a mock COP is my strong belief that if there's somebody here that knows how to keep things real, it is very much you, as you. And I would strongly invite you to keeping it real over the course of this conference and going forward. We will hear, and we have heard much, and it is positive that we do, about climate ambition, about climate action. But connecting both is very important as well. Climate ambition that doesn't translate into climate action is not the most helpful. Climate action that is not fundamentally connected to climate ambition at a level that enables us to meet the objectives of the Paris Agreement and the broader 2030 agenda is de facto not enough. But how do you connect both climate ambition and climate action? Many ingredients are necessary. Some of them are referred to by this expression that you might be familiar with, means of implementation. That is finance, technology, and capacity building. Mind you, these three are needed everywhere. Globally, climate change is a reality. Globally, we must come up with solutions to address it. And globally, there is need for finance, technology, and capacity building. But there is more of a need for that in the global south. And I would invite you to also keep that in mind when you discuss, make decisions, and design action. One initiative that I've been involved with and that I believe is working to bridge that gap is the African Youth Climate Hub. It is an initiative by the Mohammed VI Foundation for Environmental Protection and partners such as, for example, Yongo and University Mohammed VI Polytechnique to highlight, respond to, and amplify the voices and actions of African youth for climate action. It is but a part of the answer. It is a part that is still being co-constructed with youth. But it is one example among many of what can be done in an intergenerational manner, together with youth, in fundamentally pure co-construction of solutions so that youth benefits from the support that is needed in terms of enabling the kind of solutions that they hold, the kind of solution that they believe to be the most effective, transformational for our benefit as a whole. So thank you for that. Thank you for your leadership. I am very much, as I said earlier, looking forward to what will transpire in this event, the kind of concrete outcomes that we can all build on together for further climate ambition linked to concrete and meaningful action that leaves no one behind. Have a nice conference and take care. Thank you.